This feature is so advanced it feels illegal. This is the new MacBook 2025. Now this is just a prototype, so some things may change by the time we see the final version in a couple of years. But Apple has just shown us this at WWDC, and their S, one thing that stood out more than everything else, and that S, this right here, it feels illegal. Now if you look at the MacBook from the outside, it looks pretty much identical to what we have now. We've still got the same notch, although that is a little bit smaller. And overall, it looks very similar to the current design that we've had for quite a few years now. But once you open up the MacBook, you will see that the keyboard has completely disappeared. There's no longer any function keys or anything like that. Instead, we just have a trackpad that goes all the way up to the top of the screen. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, this is great because I can use the top part of my trackpad to play media controls. Well, yes, that is an option, but actually that's not even the main function. You see, when I press on this area, it kind of feels like I'm pressing on nothing at all. That's because the entire display is actually a trackpad. So anywhere you can touch on this, it will register as a click. Now obviously there's going to be some restrictions. You can't do it in the middle of text or anything like that. But if you are in an empty space, then you can press anywhere on this display, and it will feel like you're clicking on nothing. It's basically like haptic feedback without actually having to tap on anything. It's incredible. Now I was really skeptical about this because I thought, well, if the whole display is a trackpad, then surely the calibration is going to be impossible. Surely it's going to be really inaccurate. But when I tried it, it was perfect. It was absolutely spot on. The second I lifted my finger off of it, it stopped registering. As soon as I pressed down, it started registering, and I could move my finger around, and it was very accurate. Everything was working exactly how you would expect. And the best part about this is that you can actually resize your trackpad. So if you want it to go only half up the display, you can do that. If you want it to take up the entire thing, you can do that too. It's completely up to you. But wait, it gets even better because there's another feature to this. Not only can you press down on it, but you can also swipe on it. If you do that, it brings up something called desktop level control. So let's say, for example, that IVA got my MacBook in clamshell mode and I'm using an external monitor. Well, I can use this trackpad to control the volume. I can turn it up, turn it down. I can also swipe left with 3 fingers to go to the previous track and swipe right to get to the next one. So it's almost like having a remote control for your MacBook. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work with third-party apps, but considering Apple showed it off with their own stuff, I'm guessing it probably will. And if it does, then that is insane. Now, if you're wondering how this is going to work with a potential new Mac OS, well, IVA got good news for you because Apple also announced a new version of Mac OS at WWDC. It's called Sonoma, and it comes with a brand new feature called adaptive vibration. Basically, this allows your MacBook to sense the surroundings around it. So if you're on a table with a trackpad, then it will detect that and allow for normal trackpad functionality. However, if you were to pick it up, it would realize that and switch to a more of a floating style trackpad where you can move it anywhere you like. Now I am super excited to try this out once the final version of macOS releases later this year. Now although this was a prototype, I don't think it's going to change at all. I think we're going to get this exact functionality with the MacBook 2025. I mean, they wouldn't have shown it off if they weren't planning to release it. And I genuinely believe that this is going to be a game changer. I mean, just imagine sitting on a sofa, lying in bed, being able to use your MacBook without having to hold it. It's just crazy. Now, I'm guessing this is gone. Nah be a divisive topic, because either you re-gone nah love this, or you re-gone nah hate it. Those of you that love it are going to say, oh, this is amazing. I can finally stop holding my MacBook. Those of you that don't like it are going to say, well, hang on a minute. I paid all this money for a MacBook. Why is the screen not a display anymore? Surely I should be able to watch stuff on it. And yeah, I hear you. I hear both sides of the argument. Personally, I think I'm going to prefer it. But again, I'm guessing it's gone nah be one of those things where Apple makes a decision and everybody's either gone nah, love it, or hate it. Now another cool thing that Apple showed off at WWDC is the M3 chip. They didn't show off the M3 chip in a MacBook. They actually showed it off inside a 15-inch MacBook Air. Now it looks very similar to the MacBook Air that we have now, but it does come with some improvements. For starters, it's a full-on 15-inch display, so we no longer have that weird 13.3-inch or something display that we've got right now. It's a proper 15-inch display, which is amazing. It also comes with a slightly bigger battery. So instead of getting around 18 hours, we're now looking at around 19 to 20 hours. It's probably going to change by the time it releases, but it's looking very promising. Of course, we're also going to be getting the M3 chip inside of it. But unfortunately, that's about it. They didn't show off any performance improvements, anything like that. And I guess that's because they didn't really need to. I mean, the M2 chip is already really powerful. A lot of people would argue too powerful for a MacBook. So the M3 chip isn't going to be a massive improvement in terms of performance. I think the main reason why Apple did this is because of efficiency. The M3 chip is going to be a lot more efficient, giving us that extra battery life. Now, the 15-inch MacBook Air is launching this month. It's going to cost $1,299, and it's going to come with the M2 chip. I don't think it's going to be a bad machine by any means. But personally, I think I'll stick with the 30-inch model because it's just a lot more portable, and I need that extra screen real estate. Plus, I do think the screen on the 15-inch model is gone, not be any bigger than the 30-inch. I think it's just going to be removing that stupid black bar at the bottom. Also at WWDC, Apple announced a brand new version of Reality OS. No, seriously, that is the name, Reality OS. What a stupid name. Anyway, Reality OS is the software that runs on the Vision Pro headset, and it's getting some updates with a new feature called EyeSide. Basically, if you're wearing the headset and you see somebody next to you, it will show you their eyes on the outside display. It's a really cool feature. I hope it works well because it kind of gives it that SCI-Fi vibe. Oh, and Apple also announced that we're getting a new version of Xcode. That's the software developers use to develop apps. And it's getting some cool new features like the ability to use large language models directly within Xcode. So if you're stuck on a piece of code, you can ask it to fix it for you. It's basically like having your own personal assistant. So that is pretty much everything that was announced at WWDC. I am quite excited for a lot of these new features, but realistically, I won't be able to try them out until I get my hands on the final version of macOS, so I'm going to have to wait until later this year. But what do you guys think of this? Do you like the idea of having a trackpad that takes up the entire display? Or do you think it is a bit weird? Let me know down below.